And how many of you remember? I think you know that, or I think you'll remember this one where you like cut out a shape of your hand and like made a turkey out of it at Thanksgiving. Well, those are cultural competencies because Thanksgiving is a USA holiday, 4th of July, a USA holiday, Memorial Day, Labor Day, etc. There's a whole lot of holidays that the school calendar follows, the school curriculum follows, because not all of us come from a household that teaches us these things because our heritage, our ethnic origins, these kinds of backgrounds that we all in a diverse place all come from won't necessarily have the same historic scope. You won't necessarily have the same traditions and customs and holidays and history stories and all of this kind of stuff. Johnny Appleseed and George Washington saying "I cannot tell a lie." These kinds of things are American or USA estadounidense value systems that come into play with these tiny little lessons that we get about life and values and behavior, proper behavior. I should put the word proper in air quotes for sure, proper behavior in life. So cultural competencies like our language skills, there's a whole bunch of English second language programs in public school systems nationwide, not just in border states, but in interior states too, where you've got a whole bunch of immigrants from a wide variety of different places, from China, the Middle East, Central America, all over the place, who come with an English deficiency, and the school system has included in that English second language classes, and therefore it builds cultural competency because English, while it is not an official state language in the United States, state being government in general, nationwide, it is certainly the most dominant one, right? The expected, if you will, language. And so all of these different kinds of things are cultural competencies. I bet you your parents aren't the ones who taught you songs like God Bless America or Grand Old Flag or the Pledge of Allegiance. If you know these things, where did you learn them? Well, you don't say I pledge allegiance to the flag of South Africa. You say you pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and you learn these things on how you're supposed to put your hand over your heart or salute or refuse to do those things so that protest about that can happen, which is another American value, because not a whole bunch of countries around the world, very few in fact, tolerate the kind of freedom of speech or freedom of belief or freedom of expression that we enjoy in the United States. We gotta fight to keep it, but we enjoy that right now, and that's one of the reasons why you can hear so vastly different points of view from one place to the next. And so knowledge about those rights that we have as US citizens or residents are also part of the cultural competency that you get. You'll take a class on civics, for instance, where you will learn about state and local government and federal government. And you learn about the US state, local, and federal government systems when you're in the USA education system. So education system worldwide, where you have education as one or systematic transmission of certain knowledge to people within the population. You call it an education system, and that education system can be designed in a wide variety of ways from one country to the next. Within our system in the United States, of course, we have school districts, we have let me start with daycares, and we have rules and regulations that govern the daycares, and then we have a certain age range that you have to be to go into school, and we have to make sure that you have all these immunizations that are required and other things, for the school to kind of keep track of us and maintain public health to a certain extent. That is their responsibility to do. And then all the way up through the 12th grade education is the minimum expected, the minimum hoped for based on the laws in the United States. And then right back to the beginning of the semester when we were talking about how some of us have a whole lot of pressure to continue past that 12th grade year to achieve higher levels of education that ain't free, not yet anyways. Sorry, Bernie Sanders, wish we saw more of you. Anyway, the education system is not free past 12th grade. So, are you going to excel in that income, occupation, and education level, socioeconomic level, achieve status stuff that we learned about way back in chapter 7? So there are so many norms, there's so many statuses, there's so many cultural competencies, so many expectations that our society has on the macro scale that affect our experiences on the micro scale. And that's what this week continues to be about, with a focus this time on the education system and all the ways in which the education system can be critiqued and analyzed, but also linked with those other social institutions, as many other social institutions as we are able to include in our short time together this semester. Okay, so this is the end of part 2 of lesson 1. Got cut off there in the middle. Sorry about that. I just made 2 videos anyway, so it's easier for you to stream it. And text me with questions. There is more to come for this week with education in the United States.